Hello and welcome, I'm Mystical, this is Mystical Gaming. Grab yourself a cup, we're jumping into Watch Your Realms, and there's been an update announced. It's quite a little juicy one, there's a couple of nice little things coming out. So let's go and have a quick look at it. So we've got some hero buffs. Now, mostly a cultisty type thing going on. So firstly, the first buff that's coming out is the Summoning Champion. So there we go, she's getting a buff. Now firstly, she's not only getting a buff, but she's, well, sort of, she's getting a buff in rated up chances as well after the debacle last weekend. Sure, we all enjoyed that and the fun in the games. So the requirements are your account must have been created for at least 4 days, yada yada, all normal stuff. Details: the event exclusive hero, legendary hero Anora, can be summoned during the ancient summoning event. During the event, the base drop rate for heroes of the same rarity will remain the same. However, the drop rates for the following heroes will be 20 times greater. She is the following hero, along with Idril as well. Don't have an Idril. Idril is the epic coming out. She's absolutely awesome. Okay, so 20 times drop rate for Anora. She is the first champion officially getting it and not just having a issue with posters that you decide to make for no reason. Anyway, but that's not all. So she's getting additional buffage as well as just on the rates. Okay, so the first thing, she's getting a cost reduction. She's going from 22 down to 19, bring that cost down. Absolutely fantastic. The second part, okay. Now the second part of this is a talent. So the talent, the stat cap of Ancient Spirit is reduced from 15 to 6. That doesn't sound much like a buff, but its effect per stack increases from 1% to 3%. So beforehand you would get a maximum of 15 stacks at 1%, giving you 15%, but now you only need 6 stacks and you're getting 3%, so that will take you up to 18. So nice little buff there. Now the next part of her buff as well affects the her ultimate. Now remember a little while ago the ultimate got a buff in range. We can just about see the range there, and now it's been expanded again. So be interested to see what the new range is. So that's the second part of a buff. Now all the people who have done the Anora thing before and already have her and think, well, shall I go for another one? Well, the next buff actually affects her awakening. So awakening 1, when Noxious Breath is generated, it immediately affects immobilizing state on up to 8 enemies in range, and now that is being changed a little bit. We are now getting this, so it's been buffed a little bit. To this. So awakening 1, when Noxious Breath inflicts immobilizing state for 2 seconds now, as opposed to 1, now getting the 2 seconds on it immediately up to 8 enemies. So that's the Anora buff. Now it's not just her who's getting a buff as well. We're staying with the cultist faction. So here we are. He hasn't been out long and yet he's getting a buff. So I know I've clipped this a little bit at the ends, but is talent added an additional effect. So this is on top of what his talent does already. Okay, when the hero is in the cultist team, the hero's basic attack and Plague of Ruins restores HP equal to the hero's 50% attack to one cultist ally in attack range. So that is his talent, and then it said Plague of Ruins, which is his passive there, so that is both going to heal him up by 50%. And then they've added an effect to Corrupted Swarm as well, so that's his ultimate there, Corrupted Swarm. So when his ultimate is up, he's going to grant an additional 30% AoE damage reduction to cultist allies in range as well. So a bit of healing and a bit of AoE damage reduction on him. Now, not done with them yet, and we're certainly not done with a cultist faction. To hear the arguably the least played cultist, she's getting buffed. Quite a big buff for her as well. So right, let's start at the top with her. Okay, so the first thing that's happened, she's getting a cost reduction down from 22 down to 19. Is this enough to get her played? Probably not. Now, what if we also made a dual faction and brought in and made her an exterrent as well? Would that get her enough play time? I argue maybe not enough. Okay, so let's go through the rest of it. The rest of it is to do with her talent. So her talent, when an enemy dies in range, summons one Dream Eater. This Dream Eater has a cooldown of 15 seconds. When the Dream Eater explodes, restores 2% rage to Beatrix. Okay, and then Dream Eater does some extra damage for you, inherits all of her abilities, and she can have up to 4 of them at a time. So the summoning rate of them, now the cooldown has gone from 15 down to 10 seconds. So another nice little buff there we're getting for her. On top of that, now when one dies, you not only get 2%, she's now going to get 3% raid back to her. just straighten that up a touch and bring a bit more down. And then the maximum number of Dream Eaters is going to be increased to 5 from the 4 as well, so more of a buff for her as well. Getting a nice little buff. It's starting to add up. Now when we have a look at the ultimate there, during the ultimate the heroes and the Dream Eaters damage increase to 50, 55, 60 and 70%. So remember, you can up the Dream Eaters damage. It's just in here. There you go, starts at 40%, and then with the ultimate you can actually stack up the damage. That's going to be increased from the 40, it will now be at 50 and going up to 70. So that is a nice little buff for her as well. Now this is the next bit. I think the next bit is the interesting part of her kit. After casting the ultimate, Dream Eater's targeting range expanded to entire battlefield. That I think is the interesting bit. So we have got the Apex Archer, haven't we? I think she can do anywhere on the battlefield, and we've also got Idril, obviously, and we've now got Beatrix. She's coming in with this as well. So I think that's a very interesting part of her kit. Going to be interesting to see how that pans out. And then they've reduced the ultimate cap range by 100 as well, so you'll get 100 off ultimate as well. So with Beatrix also, she's got this passive hit here as well, so that's getting a change as well. So before, we can see here, when an allied summons spawn on the battlefield, increases the hero's attack by 1%, stacking up to 5 times. So you'll now get an additional bit on there as well, but now it's going to increase by 10%. When allied summon spawns on the battlefield, increases the hero's attack by 1%, stacking up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So that's been changed as well. So that is a little bonus. Now the other thing that's been changed with her is her awakenings. Now they're not really being changed, so well, sort of, and we'll cross that as we come to it. So right, what we've got is number 1, changed each stack drains 2%. So you've got a straight up buff there, and that's the only real change there. So each stack of Spirit Drain increases attack by 2%, and it was 1%. Now Awakening 2 would give a skill reduction, which was Awakening 4. Now Awakening 4 says -3, cost -3. It's now been increased or decreased. It depends how you look at it. So it's now being increased from -3 to -2. Apparently, I have asked, I haven't had a feedback yet to see if that's a typo or not, but if I get any feedback I will let you know. I'll put it in as a pinned comment or something like that. So those two are being swapped around, and there's just the change in the cost. And then Awakening 3 now becomes Awakening 5. When a Dream Eater dies, Beatrix restores 10% HP. That's becoming an Awakening 5. And the Awakening 5 that she used to have increases the number of Dream Eaters summoned by the ultimate by 1. That's now becoming Awakening 3. So a bit of a swap around on the Awakenings just to make them a little better, I feel. And like I said, I've got a thing in about the cost. Now that is about it for Awakenings, or sorry, buffs that we've got on characters and things like that. The only other thing they've put out in the update is this as well. Let's get this up. Tower Deception, and it's coming on the 21st. Now remember, you need gear raids 1, 2 and 3, stages 19 done. You need to get those done. I've got a couple of guides on them, but I'm sorting something else out as well, so hopefully have that out tomorrow to sort of help you all get to stage 19 as a minimum. Okay, now that's what you need, so get that done. If you haven't got it done, you've got until the 21st of April to get gear raids 1, 2 and 3, stages 19 smashed out. Right, Tower of Deception, tower climbing challenge resets every 4 calendar weeks. When the season resets, both stage progress and rewards will be reset. Happy days. The challenge consists of common stages, boss stages and hidden chamber stages. You've got those 3 stages. Common stages are a one-time clear rewards. Boss stages and hidden stages require players to select challenge modifiers and rewards based on maximum number of modifiers selected per attempt. So we've seen that sort of thing before. You can sort of up their defense or lower your HP or your attack, all that sort of thing on the number of heroes you can use as you go in, that sort of thing. So I've seen that sort of thing before. I presume that's what they're going with the modifiers. Now when newly unlocked after each season reset, players can clear up to 5 stages per day. Hidden chamber stages not counted. Okay, so you can do the hidden, if you unlock hidden chamber, that doesn't count towards your 5. So that's me done. That's the update, and that's coming on the 15th. Okay, update on the 15th. That's when that little lot drops. So if you've got Beatrix, maybe get her out the vault. Maybe. I think she's going to be interesting. A couple of little teams you can play around with there. Maybe she's also going to be esoteric as well. She's getting that dual factiony type stuff going on. So don't only look at these heroes when you're thinking about making up your team. Have a look at some of these as well. Now, nice to see all the buffs. However, you still haven't given us our buff for this. You've mentioned it in Dev Insights a lot. Where is Vienna? You keep saying you're going to buff her. You still haven't done it. Still waiting on some news with that. You shouldn't have to keep writing into the Dev Insights. You keep saying it's coming, just give some news about it. Just a date or anything would be nice. Right, that's me done. Please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe on the way out. It would help me out massively. And I will see you in a video again soon. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers. Goodbye.